Let me also quickly bring in at this point Major Mohommed Ali Shah, defense expert, who's also joining us. Major Mohommed Ali Shah, how are you reacting to these developments being reported? This incident reportedly occurred on the 9th of December 2022. What was the Chinese troops' intention in landing up with over 300 personnel reportedly that day? How are you viewing this incident, Major Shah?
Right, Uday. The entire border of India-China, I would say the Indo-Tibetan border is of 3,488 kilometers stretch, which is not clearly demarcated. There is line of actual control. That is why it's known as line of actual control. It's only a perception. Unlike Indo-Pak border, which is line of control, there's a clear demarcated line. We know which area is India, which area is Pakistan. Now it's very difficult to man this area to actually be on ground. For everyone to understand this in a very simple colloquial language, if I say, if we put a fencing in a local colony and there is no guard to man it on ground, there's no point of that fencing. So that is why that area cannot be fenced. And because it cannot be fenced, there's always a challenge. There's always a challenge of perception that this is our area, this is your area. And they are often that Indian patrols and Chinese patrols, they come face to face and they meet. They have been faced off, they have been fist fights. And now, regarding the Peace and Tranquility Act of 1993, the soldiers across the border in that particular area cannot carry firearms with them. They cannot carry weapons. So that is why we saw what happened on 15 June night in 2020 in Galwan, where where Colonel Babu of 16 Bihar Battalion, very brave, he and his soldiers were martyred over there and people fought with clubs, with stones, with sticks, with whatever they could find, lay their hands on, and no firearms were used. Similarly, over here on 9 December, it was a fight with stone pelting, with clubs, with bars, there were no firearms because of that peace. Now, what the Chinese motive, what I see it as, it could be. See, nobody would want to wage a war. I don't see it like, that they had come to wage a war against us. No. But if you see it tactfully, and if I have to think of it like a soldier in a proper army terms and explain it like a civilian for everyone to understand, for our viewers, see, it's common sense that they had come in tents. And the same thing, if you notice, the same thing had happened in Galwan. They had come in tents, which means it was a temporary arrangement. For example, Uday, if you are traveling from A location to B location and you only have a night to stay, you'll only open a small bag, perhaps. You not open the entire suitcase and take out all your belongings. But if you have to settle down in a place, you'll put down all your settlements there. Similarly, the Chinese had come in tents. They open. They had not come in bunkers. They had not dug trenches. They had not made establishments across the border there to fight. Which means the intention was not to fight. I'm talking about in Galwan. Their intention was at that time to come there. They thought they will scare us away and we will move behind. But we gave them a befitting reply. We gave them, they will remember all their lives, what we gave them. Now, 300 Chinese soldiers, as per reports, is what I am made to understand. Now, when they had come fully prepared, it was all pre-planned. Here they had come to actually check our preparedness. That could be one reason. Second reason could be there are a lot of disturbances happening in China. Right now, there are protests happening against the management of the COVID-19 situation by Xi Jinping. So that could be another reason to divert the attention from what's happening. There's a problem of economy. There's a problem of jobs. China basically is going through a tough time. That could be other reason. Third reason I see it as, a trigger-happy company commander, the local commander on ground. The battalion commander, the CEO is very mature, but the company commander over there, the PLA, from the PLA side, not from the Indian side, our men are very well trained. Now the PLA side, they focus their training all on technology, all on equipment. That is the reason they are unable to endure the winters and they plant robotic armies technology on the border. Now, when they are, maybe it could be a trigger-happy company commander from PLA side, full of josh and vigor, and to show his superiors, to show his commanders, to come in their notice, he would have got there and got trigger-happy. Trigger means not only with firearms, but with other ways he could have attacked. So there are various perceptions why Chinese could have come there to show their aggression, but they got a befitting reply in 1979. China had tried the same stunts with Vietnam. Now, Vietnam, the strategy that they used was their border guards were manning the border. When the Chinese army came, they enticed them inside the territory. They allowed them to come in. They kept retreating. and their regular army was camping 20 kilometers away from the border. And the regular army gave a sound thrashing to China that China has never forgotten that till today. And till today, they have not had the guts to mess with Vietnam ever. So China, basically, if you see, strategically, they will never comply to any of the agreements. They're not to be trusted. They play psychological warfare. They show projection. They play information warfare. They have no single friend. In fact, even their friend, Pakistan for that matter, is only their friend because of CPAC, the China Economic Pakistan Corridor. The China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, that is their only because they have made so much investment. They have tried making friends with Solomon Island and other nations, but I don't think they have succeeded much. They made friends with Sri Lanka, and you saw the fate of Sri Lanka made. So people are very careful, very wary of China, because anyone who makes friends with China meets with a doomsday at the end. So now their intention of coming there, maybe they were checking our preparedness, but they didn't expect us to be so well prepared. We gave them a sound thrashing over there. Because we believe in one policy as Indians, and we say we will not really trouble anyone. But if anyone troubles us, then he will have hell to pay. And that is exactly what happened with China on the 9th December. And that is why the casualty you will see from Chinese side, they have suffered great deal. I mean, but they will never improve over there unless and until we document in paper, unless and until there's a proper treaty. It's not so simple, but unless and until the line of actual control is converted to a line of control where there's a demarcated territory. I'll give you another small example over there for everyone to understand. You and I come into a property agreement, and we are neighbors, okay? And there's no agreement, there's no sales deed, there's no stamp duty, there's no registration done on paper. Now there's a perception that this is my land, there's your land. We will keep having this argument.
Right, Major Shah.